Mr. Shoaff gave me a very important caution in those early days, which I would like to repeat here for you. He said, never underestimate the power of influence. What an important statement. The influence of those around us is so powerful. Many times we don't even realize we're being strongly influenced because it generally develops over an extended period of time. Peer pressure is an especially powerful form of influence because it is so subtle. If you're around people who spend all they make, chances are excellent that you'll spend all you make. If you are around people who go to more ball games than concerts, chances are excellent that you'll do the same. If you're around people who don't read many books, chances are excellent you won't read many books. People around us can keep nudging us off course a little at a time, until finally, 10 years from now, we find ourselves asking, how did I get here? Those subtle influences need to be studied carefully if we really want our lives to turn out the way we've planned. Now, on this major point, let me give you 3 key questions to ask. This may help you to make a better analysis of your current associations. Here is the first question. Who am I around? Good question. Make a mental study of the major people with whom you most often associate. You've got to evaluate everybody who is within the circle of being able to influence you. So, major question, who am I around? Next question, what are they doing to me? That's a major question to ask. What have they got me doing? What have they got me listening to? What have they got me reading? Where have they got me going? What have they got me thinking? How have they got me talking? And how have they got me feeling? What have they got me saying? You've just got to make a serious study of how others are influencing you, both negatively and positively. Now, maybe the influence of all those around you is okay, but just ask yourself, it doesn't hurt to ask, who am I around? And what are they doing to me? Now, here's the final question. Is that okay? Maybe the people you associate with and their collective influence is okay. But then again, maybe it's not. All I'm suggesting here is that you take a close and objective look. Everything is worth a second look, especially the power of influence. Positive influence can have an incredible effect on your life, but so can negative influence. Both will take you somewhere, but only one will take you in the direction you truly wish to go. It's so easy just to dismiss the things that influence our lives. The man says, I live here, but I don't think it matters. I'm around these people, but I don't think it hurts. I would take another look at that. I've got a good phrase for you. Everything matters. Now, sure, some things matter more than others, but everything matters. Everything weighs something. So you've got to keep checking to find out whether associations are tipping the scales toward the positive or toward the negative. It doesn't hurt to look, right? Ignorance is never the best policy. Finding out is the best policy. Remember, part of the purpose of this program is to get us to say, the days of kidding myself are over. I really want to know what I have become and what I am becoming. I want to know where my strengths and my weaknesses lie. What has power over me? What's influencing me? What have I allowed to affect my life?
Invest in things that we know we can personally impact the outcome of. If I believe that I can take something that's already a good company and just make it a little more likely to be a success, then that's a rigged game for me.
And the thing is, in this new hyper-competitive age, none of us can afford to be complacent. Professors might earn the distinction of tenure, but that doesn't guarantee that they'll keep putting in the long hours and late nights and have the passion and the drive to be great educators. The same principle is true in your personal life.
You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
Winston Churchill said it best. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm.
What I'm doing right now, right, this path, is it going to get me there? whatever you're doing right now, that would get you there, right? And if not, doesn't matter what you do. It's just, that's the wrong path, because this path will never get you there.
The thing about self-discipline is that it is necessary. It's very, very hard to remain consistent because you tend to resist, because the discipline is coming from somewhere else. Anybody who's working you out, your teachers, your trainers, your people, they have to train you to get out of your life. Do your own thing. Practice self-discipline.
Don't allow yourself to get caught up in other people and putting your happiness in somebody else and finding purpose in something else. Once you're on the path to becoming, then you can find real happiness.
Discipline is not punishment. It's not.
We have absolutely nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose, and we had everything to gain. And we figured, even if we crash and burn and lose everything, the experience will have been worth 10 times the cost.
I need you to see yourself capable, lovable, and unconditionally worthy of your future.
You can go after whatever you want. You just cannot deny anyone else to go after whatever they want. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it. You can do it your way. You can break the rules. You just can't get in the way of somebody else getting what they want.
Yeah. If you want to get paid more, work more, give more. That's how I see it.
Focus is follow one course till you're successful. And I just did it and did it and did it. And I did it and I did it and did it. And I'm still learning.
Successful people embrace failures. Do you embrace failures, or do you take failures personally? You see, successful people, they are ridiculously positive about the future. They believe in themselves, right? They have positive expectations about their future.
You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
I'll give you an example of a good habit and a bad habit. So for good habits, you want the physical environment to make it obvious and easy for you to do the behavior. You know, so like like
have a pull-up bar in your room.
Exactly.
If you're trying to do 100 pull-ups a day,
right?
Like have it hanging over your door.
As opposed to even if you had one, but it was in the closet because you just half the time you wouldn't remember to take it out.
Or it's at the gym upstairs or down the street. No.
You know, I have a friend who he wanted to practice guitar more, and so he left his guitar in the middle of his living room, and that was just so he'd walk past it 100 times a day.
Pick it up and
becomes much easier, right? Bad habits are the same way. But in reverse, instead of making it obvious, you want to make it invisible. You know, take which is just talking about video games. A lot of people feel like they spend too much time watching TV or playing video games or watching a screen. But if you walk into pretty much any living room, where do all the couches and chairs face? They all face the television. So it's like, what is that room designed to get you to do?
Turn it on.
Yeah. So you can restructure that environment to make it less likely that you'll fall into that habit. And there are a variety of things you could do. You could take the remote control and put it inside like a drawer so you don't see it. You could put the television behind a wall unit or a cabinet so that it's less visible. But you could also increase the friction with the task. So you could unplug your TV after each use and only plug it back in if you can say the name of the show that you want to watch. So you can't mindlessly pull up Netflix and just find something. Or you could take the batteries out of the remote control so that it's an extra 5 to 10 seconds to turn on. Maybe that's enough time to be like, do I really want to watch something right now? Or am I just doing this mindlessly?
Yeah.
If you really wanted to be extreme,
don't have the TV.
Yes, you could get rid of the TV entirely, or take it off the wall and put it in the closet, and only take it out when you really want to watch something.
And I just did a public television special, another public television special. And when I got an hour and a half before the show to start, I got one of these attacks again in the neck, and I was just like, how am I going to get through this thing and so on. And I said a prayer. My wife was there, 2 of my girls were there, we were in the room, I had my arms around them, and I said, if I'm supposed to endure this pain, for whatever reason that I don't even understand yet, I'm willing to do it. But could I please just have the next couple of hours so that I could at least get through this experience? And it just dissolved. And I was able, you were there, you were in the audience, and I was able to go out there and do it. And then the pain returned the next day, and I went right back to that state, and I still do it now. And I can feel it even now as we're talking about it a little bit here. And instead of cursing it, instead of being angry at it, I accept it as my dharma. This is, you know, and whatever it is that I have to learn from it, generally speaking, every difficulty I've had in my life, getting divorced, literally being someone who is addicted to substances, including alcohol, letting go of, you know, those kinds of beliefs that those are terrible things that I should be ashamed of. They've been amongst my greatest teachers. And this pain is just another one of those things. And generally speaking, I now can go out and help people who live in chronic pain. Yeah. And you do a lot of this with your tapping. You know, I've seen you do it on stage, you know, with people. In fact, when we were out in Australia, that one woman, what was it? She couldn't even...
Well, there's one lady with a frozen shoulder
right.
who couldn't move her arm.
Who hadn't been able to move her arm in years.
In 20 minutes, she got it up like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like... And that comes from just accepting yourself and actually instead of cursing the pain, because when you curse the pain and get angry at it, you get angry. Every cell of your being goes through that same anger. And what you want to do is just get to that peaceful place within yourself where you say, you know, when you trust in yourself, you're really trusting in the wisdom that created you, you know, and the wisdom that created you is infinite and it's formless. And so your thoughts are in that same category. Have thoughts that are aligned with that divine presence.
Yeah.
You'll see it going away.